And the reason why I want to bring this up is just to understand that a lot of the entities have been predatory and have already stated their position in all of this. And it's people who keep trying to romanticize the relationship with a ghoul that are creating these stories of them somehow prospering and it being beneficial to be slave to a darker spirit, if you may, or a distorted spirit. And so they need to realize that a countless period, they operate not in time. So for a countless period, this pattern has been acting out over and over again on the humans. And that's that almost like that last leap is like, look, sovereignty. You don't have to be the slave of another God. You have power and energy, but not like that. Your power and energy gets supplanted and used for what it wants to do. And then also it brings on the flux, which is basically where stuff will be happening. And you'll be wondering, like, why is this even happening? What's going on? You'll feel less in control of what's going on in your life. That's why I say, hey, if it's the will of God, that person is in no control over what's happening. You can't control everything, but to insist that everything that you do needs to be handled by God, and then to imagine that that God is not you, this is the trap. And that trap has been going on for so long. You got beings that they're psychologically, spiritually, mentally in that. They're eidolonically, if you want to use that word, they're in that. And we're present here with them. And in this time, like I said, when we're talking about new languages, like we're going to adapt to crystal symmetry as a language. We're going to hone in a bit more on the Platonic solids just so we understand the building blocks of phi-based matrices. When we start talking about that kind of stuff, all that stuff is new. All that stuff is not even conceived really yet, except for in a small amount of minds. This stuff is not commonplace. And so thus it immediately gets rejected, not only by the mind, by the telematrix at times. So you have to stand into what you know by anchoring every single thing that you speak on with these vital components of exactly how the structure works in the first place. And that's why I said, this is the last thing. Enrich yourself. There's never been a time that I can remember, except for when you had natural nutrients and things growing in your farm and the soil was rich. You're growing from primary forest elements. You got mycelium. It's all together. It has been a long time since a human being has been able to put a proper mineral stack inside of their being. And then when you put it there, now you got to let it cultivate. You got to let it begin to work through repairing chakra, repairing bones, repairing antenna, repairing ligaments, patching crystals, all that stuff that it's capable of doing. And then when you focus on that, especially rather than, the crazy, stuff that's going on in the matrix, that's only getting you more acidic and draining all your power from your batteries, then you will have arrived. You will find yourself into consistently greater thought. And I know there's many here that are doing that now, but I just want to make sure that that is clear. So I want to say wholeness and balance vibrations to everyone. We're going to go ahead and open this up. This has been an hour and about 40 minutes, so it wasn't super lengthy, but I trust that there was something there for you to grasp and to realize just how much there's still some acceleration that can happen here in this reality.
The ley lines, you get a transfer of energy. English football is watched from all over the world. All these extreme emotions are feeding the beast. In the word amphitheater, you hear the word theos, which means God in Greek. Isn't it strange that the gods are asking to make a building? They even are giving you the right measurements. So let me recapitulate. You make an exact copy of the head of the beast. You create an event that triggers the highest emotions. Through the ley lines, you harvest the energy. Purpose is the resurrection of the beast. Looking for the God particle might be seen in this context. I'm pretty sure we are back at the myth of Osiris.
Hear my creation!
The birth of Horus. For the next topic, we have to go into the sexual education. In the center of our crater, we have Mount Meru. Mount Meru has the shape of a vagina, just like a baseball field. The shape I have seen before in Wevelsburg and in Mecca. And what's in the middle? It's the black cube, just like in the baseball field. The cube is inside a diamond. Inside the cube you have Pitcher's Mound.
Carpenter versus Polanco. That's a strike! And he's out!
Set dismembered Osiris and threw the pieces into the Nile, where a fish ate his phallus. Isis recovered all other parts and fashioned a phallus replacement of gold, wood and clay to restore his body. This magic allowed them to conceive Horus, securing the divine bloodline and Osiris' rebirth. My guess is that baseball is the replay of the Osiris myth. On the right you have the pitcher, that is the male. On the left you have the catcher, that's the female. The ball is the sperm. In comes the hitter. The baseball bat is the phallus of Osiris. The hitter has to go around the cube.
Oh, shut up! Silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
The rituals then start with Tawaf, the circling of the Kaaba 7 times. Pilgrims then travel 7 times between the Safa and Marwa hills. Then worshippers descend on Mina, a valley where they spend the night praying. In the morning, Muslims head to Mount Arafat, where the Prophet Muhammad gave his final sermon. They then reach Muzdalifah, where they collect pebbles to symbolically stone the devil, represented by 3 walls known as Jamarat. Finally, pilgrims return to the Kaaba to circle it one last time. Silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Let me refresh your mind. The builders, the masons, building the beast. You have three orders: Knights Templar, Knights Hospitaller, Teutonic Knights. Knights Templar, kings and queens. They want to be entertained. They built all the sports arenas, also the entertainment parks. The Knights Hospitaller, the priest class. They want to be worshipped through religion. Mecca, Rome. Then you have the Teutonic Knights, the military. For them it's about blood sacrifice. The Aztecs follow the massacres. It's my impression that something far more bigger is playing out here. And the Dome of the Rock will be at the center of it. You wonder why there are three pillars? There is also a star map in the construction. Now, if you look at Orion, you will see that it has a phallus. So my guess is that the original name of Orion is Osiris. And the original name of Sirius, our crater, is actually Isis. Take a good look at Osiris, at the entrance complex. What you see is the missing phallus. In come the builders. The first builder was Isis. Isis is the vulva. Now what is being built inside of the vulva? It's the cube. So this means that the cube is the phallus of Osiris. How do you create the phallus? Well, it's about radiation, oscillation. Through radiation, you transform the sperm of the humans into the sperm of Osiris. Out of the body of Osiris is born his reincarnation, the resurrection. He will receive the crown, and we will call him Sire. Now imagine, the bloodline of Osiris has no phallus. What are the chances that a story like this gets out of the White House? 0. Now you start inventing these stories. What is more important than your good name?